Hi, I'm Mellisa Smith.
Hi, I'm Serena Halstead.
And I'm Spencer Ziegler, and welcome to Data Lit. And welcome to the end of our second season of Data Lit. How's it feel?
Yeah. Yes, long stretch, but we're here.
In my ultimate universe, we would have gotten like an Oscar, an Emmy, a Tony.
What is the awards for podcasts?
I don't know, a potty?
Okay.
That's how I know you have young kids. You laughed at that joke.
I don't have a segue, but yeah, we'll apply for this season for the Potty Awards. And see what we can do next season. Yeah, because for some reason we were picked up again.
Yeah. Yes, that's
that
good.
Makes sense. So we just wanted to, wrap up this season with a quick conversation for y'all and reminisce maybe for a minute. So, Mellisa, Serena, do you have any favorite memories from this season?
My favorite memory is interviewing Rick Wormley, because it seems so long ago, when we did the course with him, and, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have him on our podcast? Never in a million years did I think that he would agree to it. And it's so, as a classroom teacher, some of these experts seem so far away from us. Yeah. And so it was, I guess, really humbling to have him come speak to us and share his expertise with the audience. So I thought it was, I think he's really engaging and he has a lot to share. And that one really stands out for me. I was really grateful for that.
Yeah, it's kind of a reminder to just try and see what happens when you ask. I think that's really important for teachers. I think that when I was in the classroom, I didn't do enough to always kind of break down the four walls of my classroom and to see who I could get or who I could connect students to. So if you want your students to try podcasting, send us a message, because we would love to help y'all out with that. And don't be afraid to shoot a message to someone to see if they'll come and help out your kids.
Yes. As you talk about coming and helping out, so I would say I loved all the ones that we did with interviewing all the personnel. So we had our teachers at one point, we had our principals, and we had some persons within our central service department all pitching in and giving us ideas about data and the use of data. One of the ones that I really liked was the one with critiquing the data, where we had got our supervisor to actually come in and talk to us about data critics. And so she touched on about, when we're looking at data, we talk about whether the data is complete. We talked about the consistency and the impact of it. But what was really good was for her to just, let us be mindful that, yes, we have the data, but the data has so many moving parts. And for us to use it effectively, we need to be critiquing it as to what it is saying or what it is not saying, and be mindful as to how it will impact the future decisions that we make.
Yeah.
I think that one was a good one, because I think it helped us three and, our supervisor as well to kind of better understand what we do and how we do it. So kind of giving her a behind the scenes look at podcasting and, how do we put on a podcast? So I think she appreciated that as well.
Yeah. And we had Brian Sumner later, so we're working our way through DRA leadership. So Colleen, Elk, Brad, get ready for season 3.
Yes, we're looking forward to meeting them.
My favorite memory, I think, was the expression on y'all's faces when I said I wanted to do a podcast episode.
On baseball?
Yeah. Just the glare.
It wasn't so much a glare.
Persisted for about a month until we recorded. Yeah.
I have never seen apples and oranges so far apart. It's like, all right, Spencer, make a salad out of it. Help us make the connection. But I think it worked.
It worked. It did. And right there and then I was learning something about baseball. So that was really good, Spencer.
Yeah,
I have been to 2 baseball games since.
There you go.
Since.
Great. Next year, I'll make you do like a soccer podcast or
I'm
just
definitely
urban
going.
planning. I'm going to find some other weird interests of mine to rope into here. Yeah, and in that next season. So yeah, we'll start planning now that we're wrapping up this season. What are some hopes that you two have for season 3 of Data Lit?
So I'm hoping to have more persons coming in and sharing their expertise with us regarding the different topics that we would look at in the future. And also, I'm hoping to, as Spencer said, make sure I say www.
She says 2 W's every time.
Yes, he
and
always
have to edit
fixes
it
it
and
for me.
switch around.
Yes, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes editing, so thank you for that, Spencer.
Please make that your professional goal for next
yes,
year.
I will.
Or Serena could be on the cusp of something new, and maybe there is a new World Wide Web where it's only WW. So, maybe
we should check these URLs. That's where she's done the good research.
She might be on the cusp of something new. So,
all right, Mellisa, what about you?
I think for me, I'm hoping to find out more about how data and different assessments are used, not only in central office, but in schools. So kind of like Serena's, loving to hear their perspectives of others. I mean, I think our listeners like to hear what expertise we bring, but I would love to hear more from other levels about how data is used and how assessments are used.
Yeah, that makes me think of one of the weird experiences for me, I'm not sure about you two, of doing this podcast is that we make something, we put it out in the world, and we don't really have a great sense of like where and how it lands.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think sometimes that happens with data as well.
Yeah.
You know, and so connecting more with people to figure out, you know, in our heads, this data source is used for this purpose, but how is it in actuality?
Right.
And I think the more conversations we have around data and assessments, the more approachable, I don't know if that's the right word, that people would feel, or comfortable people would feel with both of those aspects.
Yeah, yeah. And that kind of ties into my hope for next season was to kind of bridge that gap between us and then the people on the other side of these microphones that are listening. So I would love to have more interactions with listeners, either, you know, your feedback or coming on the podcast or just letting us know how we can make this more useful for you.
Right.
Yeah, and you can let us know through our website. Serena, can you remind us the URL for that again?
I'm going to say it right this time. www.
Nailed it.
WCCS.net/data.
You got the important part. You got the W.
Thank you for finishing it, Mellisa.
You said it was a goal for next season.
Spencer,
That's fine.
I was so focused on getting the W's correct that I forgot the other part of it.
Okay, so yeah, if you go there, you can send us messages to let us know any topics or approaches that you would like to see in season 3. So yeah, thank you for sticking with us this season. Thank you for joining us again next season. And thank you to Moore Square Magnet Middle School's Maya Smith. That's a lot of M's, the alliteration.
I know.
For the wonderful, wonderful theme music that we started using. And also thank you to Cary High School's Logan Foster for giving us some theme music that we used earlier in this season. Both those are wonderful. It's great to have Wake County students supplying the music. I think that's really fun. So yeah, we enjoyed chatting with you this season. We look forward to chatting with you more next season. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.